going to be draft day in the NFL. And I know how much you get excited for it. I get excited for it. All our listeners get excited for it.
Excited for next week with the beginning of the new league year.
And yes, there's so many new things changing, and it happens so quickly.
Can I make a confession?
Yeah, please. This is what the show's about. Confess away.
We get the new league year next week, and early in the week we get the beginning of that legal tampering period, and we're going to start to get news probably Monday. And I said to Rock yesterday, I was on with Rock Riley last night on his show, and I said selfishly, and I thought about this when I took my long weekend, selfishly I hope we don't get any news until after the show on Monday, so we can break it all down when I get back on Tuesday.
And, Pat, I've seen, and I know you're going to be excited when all that news breaks, and one thing that's so interesting about mock drafts leading up to the drafts is there are a couple people that'll be in unison. Then there's going to be picks all over the board, especially when you're looking at the Buccaneers, who are right there in the middle. Number 15, you look at this team right now and you think, okay, they're middle of the pack. It's very hard to predict specifically which player they're going to take. Now,
especially at that spot, because there's always someone. There's always that one dude that ain't supposed to be there anymore, but is.
I think we all know what we need to attack and what we want to target. Now, there's some people that like to go with, hey, best available on the board. Yeah. And I think that works
like
for
Jason Light's one of them, by the way. We saw that last year.
He is. And that's if you believe you're really, really close. If you have multiple pieces that you have to upgrade at, which the Bucs do, specifically on defense, I don't think you can just go with the best player on the board. You're going to have to go for position of need. And for me right now, it's outside linebacker, it's edge, it's getting after the quarterback. And I see a lot of mock drafts that do have that.
Yeah.
One thing I'm surprised by.
Me too. I already know where you're going.
Is a couple people that, well, you might not be surprised by it. Tight end. Going tight end with the first pick for them, number 15.
Listen, dude, I love Kenyon Sadiq.
He jumped off the board with especially speed, everything.
He ran a 4.4 40.
Yeah.
He's 6'3". He ran a 4.4 40. He's got running like elite running back speed in a big tight end body. Not a massive tight end body. He's only 245, 250. But the kid is an athletic freak. He has, coming out of college, reminds me a little bit of Kyle Pitts in a way, right? With that athleticism. And I've been saying forever, I think this team needs a dynamic tight end, but we need defense so much more.
We do.
If they take another offensive player in the first round, I'm going to be baffled.
I can get like O.J. Howard. I remember that draft. You looked at him in the intangibles, and you can get so excited by that. But is it going to make the Bucs that much better right now if you take him in number 15? I don't think so, Pat.
I think he could do a lot for this offense. I just don't think it's nearly the need that the defensive side of the football is. Inside linebacker, obviously outside linebacker, we've been screaming about. Like, there's a lot of players that are going to be on the board from the defensive side of the football. And I agree with you. I don't think it has to be a position of need. I don't think it has to be the best player available. I think what it has to be, and this is really almost every year, is a convergence of the two, right? It's got to be the best player at a position of need at some level.
We've got Trevor Sycamore from PFF, who is very familiar with the Buccaneers, as he has spent a lot of time in the Tampa Bay area. He's got Akeem Mesidor going to the Buccaneers at number 15.
I like Akeem a lot, dude.
We saw what he did in the playoff. We saw what he did in the run for for Miami for the Hurricanes. He was excellent. Him and Ruma Bain, they were just so good, dominant. I believe he will be there at number 15, and I think it would be a good choice for the Buccaneers. If I have to land on all the mock drafts that I've been seeing, a lot of people, The Athletic, a lot of the staff writers, Sonny Styles, we've been talking about, inside linebacker.
Wouldn't break my heart either.
Both the Styles kids from Ohio State had an incredible scouting combine. That would be a good move, but I want the move of outside linebacker. I want a guy that can get after the quarterback, and I do believe if Mesidor's there that he will be going to the Bucs. I'd have to agree with Trevor Sycamore from all the mock drafts that I'm seeing.
Like Sonny Styles, for instance, you bring up, I don't think he's going to be there like we talked about. The kid really flashed at the draft in like every way at the combine in like every way possible. But let's say, for instance, a lot of the pass rushers we like are not there at 15. Styles is and a guy like Zion Young is, who, by the way, our friend Charlie Campbell, who we have at 8 o'clock, I'm going to talk. I can't wait to ask him about Zion Young because for me, what I watched, he concerns me a little bit from a pass rush. Like if I had him or Styles as an option, and again, I don't think we will, but if we did, I would go Styles. So I kind of get that from the athletic writers.
But for the most part, what I'm seeing is, and everyone pretty much seems to agree, the needs for the Bucs, you're seeing a lot of outside linebacker, you're seeing inside linebacker, and that tight end I think is a little odd, but because of the intangibles and him jumping off the board with the numbers, that's why it's an appealing pick.
I also was surprised, and I've seen this guy going very high as well, but I was also surprised to see Mike Renner from CBS Sports going with Spencer Fano from Utah.
Everything I've seen from him, he is the best in the draft when it comes to the offensive line, but I don't think he'll be there at number 15.
I don't either, but even if he were, I don't know that it's enough of a need. Now, there's part of me that thinks like Barton, Fano, Wirfs on the left side of the line, like, yeah, that's dominant, right? But just like with tight end, as much as that would be a nice upgrade, and I think it could do some good things for the offense, is it as necessary to – and now listen, who knows? Maybe Trey Hendrickson does want to be a Buccaneer, and we'll get back into that later. Adam Schefter, some very interesting comments basically saying he thinks he'd like to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and quote-unquote, he's not just saying that. So maybe you'd be able to get a Trey Hendrickson and another veteran pass rusher in free agency, that you know, a mid-level guy that you like a little bit, and then all of a sudden it becomes much less of a need going into the draft. And I would love that because it gives you the opportunity to lean more best player than need if you address something like that in free agency. To do it twice, I'd be surprised, but I also wouldn't be disappointed.
If Reuben Bain is sitting there at 15 and, okay, that's it.
Dude, an entire Raymond James Stadium full of people wearing the stupid Bane mask from Batman, I'm in. Like, I
just said it was stupid.
It is. Well, it's silly, and I don't want to wear it on a 90-degree day at Raymond James Stadium, but I do want to laugh at other people while they do it. There was a Miami fan this year that wore one to a game, and he wore it upside down. It looked like he was wearing a pair of underwear on his face. It was pretty hilarious.
But
yes, if he's there at 15, yes.
This is one of the parts, though, I love about the mock drafts is you can look at 20 different mock drafts, and especially at number 15, you can have 20 different picks going to the Bucs at 15. It's very hard to predict.
Yeah, no doubt. We've got, some of the best guys here, and they're, 4 or 5 different names, from, like I mentioned, Zion Young, Kenyon Sadiq, Fano, and Styles and Akeem Messidor. That's 5 different guys, and this is some of the best, draft analysts in the country that we're looking at here. So it's not like kid in his mom's basement doing a mock draft. Which, by the way, when he does, I'm reading it.
Yeah, Fano he's a top offensive lineman. He's probably maybe the second one to go, maybe the top one to go, but like he's probably going to go either top 10 or just outside of it because we know how valuable offensive linemen. You've got the kid from Miami, the top offensive linemen. Though they're so hard to find.
Yeah. Unless there's a guy that just jumps off the page like a Fano or a drop, which I agree with you. I don't think he will. Unless there was a guy that was just like, we can't pass this kid up in the draft. I'd be surprised if they went offensive line early. I know they can use depth there, but their starting unit, when healthy, is about as good as it gets in this league.
Charlie Campbell, he'll run us through his mock draft, and we'll continue as we lead up to the NFL draft, going through what the Bucs could potentially do. It's going to be a very busy next couple of weeks here on the Pat and Aaron Show. It's always a very busy time.